Okay, so thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find low and underperforming content on your website. Why this matters is Google takes into account your entire website when determining to rank specific pieces of content. So if you have a really great piece of content, but the rest of your website sucks, there's less of a probability that that piece of content will rank. So if you have a lot of content that's not getting traffic, you either need to get rid of it, which I've had a lot of success with because nobody's going there anyway, or merge it into other content. And I'm going to show you how to find that. So if you need help with local SEO, e-commerce SEO, WordPress performance, security development, come over to norzer.me. Do the subscribe, notification bell. That really helps. And also join the Discord in the description below. And if you could, type a comment, the keywords you typed to find this video. That would help me greatly. So how do we do this? So let's take, I have a blog. It's just kind of a play around blog. Whoops. It's called interestinganswers.com. And it's going to load pretty slow because I'm logged in. If I wasn't logged in, it would load faster. So it's just a bunch of interesting questions, right? It's where I test a lot of plugins out, and it's just fun. I'm a big trivia buff. So let's do this. We're gonna open Screaming Frog. Now, Screaming Frog is a paid tool. I'm not sure with the free version if you can use connect via the API to these other sources or not. I'm not sure about that. I should have checked. Let me pause it real quick and see if I can find that out. Okay, so from what I'm reading, it looks like you can do this with an unlicensed version. But, you know, Screaming Frog's pretty affordable. I think it's like $100 per year or something like that. And there's other ways to get lower prices. If you want information on that, put it in the comments below and I'll send you a message. So, what you do, so if you don't know what Screaming Frog is, let's just index. It's a must-have tool for doing SEO audits. What you're going to do, it's going to bring back, you know, all the page titles, the meta descriptions, meta keywords, which obviously aren't used anymore, is the H1s, H2s, response codes, like you can get your redirects and all that stuff in here. So these are all the links on that website, and it's going to take, this site's been around for a few years, so it's got a ton of content. So if you go over here, you can see there's all kinds of stuff. Now, how to find thin content, meaning that just doesn't have large word counts. Now this website's going to be a little misleading because its entire point, if you read the about, is to concisely answer those random questions. So the content pieces are meant to be short, right? So we can see here how many calories are in a standard pack of sugar. Most of these content pieces are just a few hundred words, if that. See, real thin. But all you have to do is go look at your results, and you can change it to HTML. So you'll filter out all the scripts. This is just going to be all the JavaScript and all this other stuff. Just going to be web pages. You can see here, you can see what's indexable, what's not indexable, but that's for a different video. Here's the titles, meta descriptions, meta keywords. So this is like the master list of everything. All these things you can get up in these tabs in a more organized fashion. So we'll keep going. Okay, if we can do this any quicker. Let me pause it while I get to. Okay, so it was just a few more clicks. So all you do is go to word count here and sort, and you can see this piece of content has 1,200 words. I'll scroll over it, but it's going to take me a while to get back to it, so I'm not going to come back. But you can see you can go to anything. Let's say you wanted all of your content to be over 500 words. Anything under 500. I think it was this one. What does $1 trillion look like? What's the difference between prescription ibuprofen and over-the-counter ibuprofen, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how you know. That's how you can find thin content. Doesn't mean it's not performing well, but that's content that doesn't have a lot of words. Generally, content. Now, everything there's always nuance, but generally, content that's longer ranks better. And you can see it's scrolling because it's still doing its thing. So let's go ahead and pause it, and we're going to clear. So now, how do you find content that's not being accessed, right? So this is just one way. You could use all kinds of tools to get to it. This is the way I like to do it. So what you want to do is you can come here, configuration, API access, and as you can see, you can connect to all these sources. So I have another video on how to do, if you want to find all the slow performing web pages on your entire website, you know, you could use GTmetrix or Google PageSpeed Insights or Web Page Test and do them one by one, but that's going to take forever. You just come here, type in your domain, interestinganswers.com or whatever it is, and then if you connect Google PageSpeed Insights, you're going to have a column that has the performance score. and then you find the ones that are performing the slowest and then go knock those out. I have a whole video on that. You can search my channel for it. So what we're going to do, assuming you have Google Analytics 4 configured, so this is the old version. Google Analytics 4 is the one we're going to do. If you don't have it configured, you need to go configure it. It's pretty simple. It's free, but Google Analytics is basically just a metrics reporting platform for your website. So we're going to sign in with Google. Whoops. Let me pause it. Okay, so I basically, a Google login box came up. I logged in. You can see received verification code. You may now close this window. So we're going to close the window. We're going to go back to Screaming Frog, and you can see here, these are websites that I have access to in Google Analytics. So we'll do interesting answers. Okay. Interesting answers. GA4, I think that's the property I'm using. And we'll just do all data streams. And then we will make this window smaller just so we can save it. Sometimes this OK button on smaller monitors goes off the bottom of the screen. So you just need to do this. The alternative is if you get lost, you can just tab down to it, and eventually you'll hit it, I think. So click OK. Now go back and start the scan. So we're going to start, and it's going to take a while. So I'm going to pause it just for about 30 seconds. This entire site, I think it's like 500 pieces of content, pages or something. It would probably take 5 minutes, but I'm just going to get a handful of them, right? I'm not going to let it do its whole thing. So we're just going to let it do a thing. Oh, while that's doing that, let me show you something. So in configuration, you can see here there's all kinds of things you can configure. You can configure date range. Right now, we're just getting the past 30 days, right? So you may have content that hasn't got a click in 30 days, but for some reason, maybe it's seasonal or something, but during Christmas or during 4th of July or whatever, if you do like lawn work, that stuff will pick up in, what is it? I guess it would be the spring and the summer. You might get traffic on those. So you can do the date range here. You can do very specific drill downs, metrics, the dimensions. You can do some filters here if you wanted to. In general, I don't even know what this is. General, you can, I've never done this. You can match uppercase and lowercase. That's pretty good. Limit max results, etc., etc. So there's some more advanced stuff you can do. Anyway, let's go ahead and click OK. And what we're going to do, we probably got enough data, even though it's still going. We're going to go ahead and pause it. So obviously you would let that run if you wanted to index your whole site or you wanted to crawl your whole site. All you do is go to the internal tab. Like I said, you can do all, but you're gonna get like CSS and everything. You just want web pages, right? That makes sense. You might want PDFs. I don't know, but I'm just gonna do HTML for now. Then scroll generally at the very end, towards the very end. You can see here, Google Analytics 4 sessions in views. I look at views. So sessions, as I understand it, is there's one session for somebody that goes to 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page, 5 pages. That's a session, right? A view is that specific website. So how they bundle session into this specific query, I'm not quite sure. That's why I just use views, because view is the specific page. And you can see they're kind of close anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So if we go over here, we can see 162, the most popular page, is what's the difference between prescription ibuprofen and over-the-counter ibuprofen. By the way, if you want to look at it, you can always right-click, open in browser, and it'll go right to it. So if you want to investigate and see what it's about, and it's loading slow because I'm logged in. It's not normally this slow. It's an interesting article, by the way. Again, type what you, please like the video, subscribe, notification bell, all that fun stuff, and type in the comments what you type to find this video, please. That would be very helpful. And if there's any videos you want done on local SEO, e-commerce SEO, security, performance, crypto even, let me know. So let's go over. So you can see there's all kinds of Google Analytics stuff that I don't like. I first time I've ever noticed the engagement rate. So that's something I might want to investigate, right? But for this example, I'm just looking at GA4 views. So these are all getting traffic, which is good, right? So anything that's getting nothing, these are content pieces. Let's scroll over now. And of course you can export this to a spreadsheet, right? When it gets done right here. So all these I don't know why it says, oh, maybe because I paused it, it didn't get it yet. That's probably what it is. Because all these would have collected that information. I paused it, that's why it didn't get it. But let's just assume anything from here down was getting 0 views, right? 1 to 0 views, under maybe even 3 or 4. So these are ones you could. So who is St. Patrick? So what you might want to do is St. Patrick's. That's related to Ireland. That's related to other kinds of stuff. So you might want to go to your website and search for Ireland and find out if there's. Doesn't make sense for this actually example at all because these are very specific questions. But then you could, if it made sense, you might combine this article with another article that was related to Ireland, or get rid of it altogether. So that's really it. I don't like to plan these videos. I don't have a script. I like to just kind of go off the dome. Hopefully you find them useful. These are things that I do on a daily basis. I'm going to be making some videos, hopefully a Neuron Writer coming soon. In tools, I mentioned AppSumo in a previous video. Tools I've bought, one-time deal offers I bought, and tools that I bought off AppSumo. I'm going to make videos on those. So hope you found this useful. Like, subscribe, notification bell, blah, blah. If you need help, go to the website, norzer.me. And that's it. See ya.